Good afternoon. We have Kenyon Hunter, dual threat, real estate professional, and he's in tech sales. So we're going to have him talk about a few topics today. He's got some great energy, some good flair, and a great personality that's going to discuss things that you guys are going to need to learn about and really just dive into. So the first thing we're going to talk about when we talk about everything in a mindset, and we're going to concentrate mostly on the growth mindset. So I'm going to have Kenyon talk about growth mindset, comparing it to fixed mindset, and where you guys can be based off his experience.
Awesome. Thanks, Caleb, man. Really happy to be here. Appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts and views on some really what we consider really important topics,
Mm-hmm.
right? So starting off with growth mindset. I read the book Mindset a couple years ago, and it was something that I felt like I already had kind of naturally. And if you don't know the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset, real quick, just to kind of touch on that. If you meet someone with a growth mindset, that's someone who never stops learning. They always look at the ability to learn more, no matter how good or how awarded they are. Someone with a fixed mindset, which everybody knows, is someone that you may talk to, you try to teach them something new, but they don't want to learn it because they feel like they're experts and they know all they can know, and there's nothing that they can really learn from someone else or through experience. Obviously, fixed mindset versus growth mindset people, there's a difference in their success levels, right? Someone with a growth mindset, if let's face it, the world is always changing. No matter what industry you're in, no matter what your business is, no matter what your goals are, life changes. Things are always going to interrupt what is currently going on today. So if you don't have a growth mindset, you have to be willing to adapt to the new challenges or the new technologies, the new brand of people that are coming into the world, coming to your business, coming into your life. Look at what social media has done for marketing. Look what social media has done for people that are trying to expand their businesses. There's no way in history, or no time in history have you been able to get the kind of reach you can now through social media. That in the past, whether you were mailing things, whether you were just, out there, promoting your business, now you can reach millions of people in a matter of a couple seconds through social media. So that was something that disrupted. Now, if you're one of those people who don't believe in social media, don't believe in the internet, you probably don't exist anymore in whatever craft or business world you're in. Look what Amazon did to retail shopping. These days, a lot of retail stores either have closed, or they had to change their strategies, or they had to make something that was appealing for people to actually still come to a retail store. Because why would I do that if I can get these great products delivered to my doorstep in sometimes a day, maybe the same day? And the companies that have adapted to that are companies that have a growth mindset. Fixed mindset are, unfortunately, stores like Toys R Us. Right? They're going out of business. We grew up with Toys R Us. Toys R Us never really did anything to change. Nothing against them. They didn't do anything wrong. They just didn't change because they probably had more of a fixed mindset. Places like Target and Walmart, they'll never be ousted totally by Amazon because they're constantly doing things or constantly bringing new products that make people want to have an experience when you shop at those places, whether you have a preference or not. I'm a Target guy personally. But,
yeah. So let's talk about growth mindset with people, because in real estate and in tech sales, you're essentially selling to people. So
Absolutely.
That being said, how do you deal with somebody who maybe doesn't have a growth mindset, or how do you get them from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset, at least while you're doing that transaction
Sure.
or dealing with them?
We deal with that in real estate a lot more than you can imagine, actually. I like to think when you're dealing with a first-time home buyer, that's a perfect example of somebody that has a growth mindset. Buying a home, and you remember when you bought your first home, it's so new to you, and it's probably the single most important decision at that time in your life. Usually it's getting married, buying a home, and having children. First-time home buyers, they don't know anything, and they just want a real estate agent to be that person that holds their hand and guides through the whole process, right? So they have a very open mind. They're very, open to your help. The people that I would say would be more of a fixed mindset are your people who have bought several homes, or probably in a higher end income bracket.
Right.
Quite frankly, they probably think they just know more than most people. And they have a very fixed mindset where really they expect you to just be somewhat of an order taker.
So coming from that point of reference, in a way, whether
Exactly.
it's past or...
Yeah, exactly. And I think that that's a good example of, fixed mindset. So how do you take those people who, feel like they have the experience, I've bought 2 or 3 homes before, and help them understand what your job is. And your job is, I understand you bought a home before, but I'm here to help you buy your next home. And when you bought your house in 1994, we're in a totally different market now here
Right.
in 2018.
Educating them
And
about that.
you have to educate them in a way where you're not insulting their intelligence. You're actually showing somewhat of empathy towards their experience and their intelligence. You're kind of feeding their intelligence, but saying that, hey, I'm a market specialist, and this is what I do for a living. I'm a professional. I know you're a doctor, and you probably know everything there is about the medical world. Well, I know a lot of things about the real estate world, and I'm in that market every single day. So it's almost where you're educating them to a point where you're forcing them to be more open-minded and willing to grow.
Sure.
That makes sense.
Cool. So I think that's a good way to wrap up just growth mindset is having the ability to grow, to want to learn, to have the hunger to continue to be educated, whether that's self-learning or having, like you said, for yourself, leaning on a specialist or leaning at someone who knows that a little bit better than you or has that frame of reference or even an updated reference in that aspect. So I think that's a great way to end growth mindset. For you guys, let's keep thinking about ways that you guys can push forward, challenge yourself, both in mindset and everything else you're doing, to stay away from the fixed mindset and understand that there are some things that we are fixed mindset in.
Sure.
Whether it's us or someone else, but the growth is where we want to lean towards. So we'll have some questions at the end for that, but very good job on the growth mindset. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.